This has arguably been mankind's most important invention. Not fire. Fire exists in the natural world, but does controlling it. So, has this changed our diet? Has controlling fire increased the meat consumption of early humans? Let's find out. Hello and welcome to this second episode of Edo Ergo Sum, I am what I eat. In the first, we were looking at the question of what was our original diet. A visit to the zoo has revealed that we are a fruit eater from origin, since fruit is still the main food of our closest relatives in the animal kingdom, the chimpanzees. To eat fruit is also what our teeth, our stomach and our intestines are best suited for. While chimpanzees do eat meat, it makes up no more than 3 to 6% of their total food intake. But we also noticed that this is odds with the many animal bones that can be found in archeological sites of prehistoric humans. So what could have changed us eating more meat? Something most of us do almost every day. Cooking. Humans have one advantage that chimpanzees don't have. They figured out how to control fire and they used this invention to prepare their food. Chimpanzees also liked the effect fire has on food. A recent experiment with some apes in captivity has revealed that most of them preferred cooked sweet potatoes to raw ones. That's not really that surprising, is it? I mean, I do so as well, But the experiment also showed that you can even train them to wait for the tubers to be cooked. Also probably not to operate such a digital wonder as shown here. This demonstrates that these chimpanzees at least prefer cooked foods to the raw version. Their brethren in the wild are no different. They go to newly burned forest areas in search of roasted seeds, nuts or other animals, but they have never been able to control the source of all this bounty, fire. Humans have. Burnt bone fragment and plant ashes from the Wonderwear cave in South Africa show that humans have been able to control fire there already 1 million years ago. Homo erectus, an earlier relative of us, has been cooking his food already 500,000 years ago. Using fire to prepare your food has several advantages. First, it makes food easy to digest. Of course it depends on the talent of the cook, but cooked food is usually more tender than raw food. Very soft. This means less effort for both your teeth and your stomach. Second, fire can make food safer, as it kills dangerous bacteria that live on it. Remember that you have to be a lot more careful with raw meat than the fried or cooked version? This is why. Third, the change in the food structure through heat or smoke, like the loss of water, makes it easier to preserve food. This is why we can keep salted dried meat for days or weeks instead of only hours, without us risking falling ill when consuming it. Like this salami. And finally, cooking makes it possible to alter food altogether, like mixing starch with water when we boil spaghetti. This has turned out to be a very handy property, but more about this in a later video when we talk about the agricultural revolution. Cooking's ability to alter nutrition has at first been less obviously beneficial than its 3 other effects, and these favored, above all, one type of food early humans consumed: meat. While recent excavations of a human site in the north of Spain, before the invention of fire, concludes that earlier techniques like chopping meat in the manner of a steak tartare. Steak tartare, I love steak tartare. may also have resulted in a higher meat consumption. Cooking made this transformation from a fruit to a meat eater a lot easier. It reduced the time to consume meat, since cooked food is easier to digest, so the whole digestion process took less time. This is no small feat. Just look at what a cow does most of the time when she is lying on the ground regurgitating her food. It also made it less risky to consume meat, since dangerous bacteria that might live on it got killed by the fire. And by its preserving quality, cooking favored meat from bigger animals, since you could eat what you have killed over a longer period of time. It is therefore no coincidence that the use of fire and the change to a more meat-based diet have gone hand in hand. Excavations from prehistoric fireplaces, when humans were not living on trees anymore, suggest that meat provided for far more than the 3 to 6% caloric intake that is common for chimpanzees, and was therefore suggested to be common for early humans as well. All this created a new us. The control of fire to alter food to eat more meat has had profound consequences for our development. It made it possible to increase the size of our brain, an organ that consumes about 25% of all the energy produced by a modern human. It made it possible to rely less on plant fodder for our energy intake, so we could decrease the space in our cells used for digestion. So bigger brains, smaller teeth and smaller digestive tracts were the new us. It made the leap out of Africa possible for early humans, as they could take preserved energy-rich food with them. And eating by fire has increased the range of humans to non-tropical areas, something chimpanzees have only managed in zoos. And last but not least, it changed our position in the food chain. From an ape somewhere in between, a middle fish so to say, who was a menace to caterpillars and smaller apes, but was himself prey to big meat-eating cats, the control of fire has enabled us to command the top position in the food chain. This brings us to the question, since you could now have all other animals for lunch, what about other humans? Were early humans cannibalistic? To answer this question, I have to refer you to my next video. Is cannibalism the dark secret of our food history? Thank you for watching this episode of Edo Ergo Sum, Why the Control of Fire Has Increased Our Meat Consumption. If you did enjoy it, please hit the like button, this would help other people find it on YouTube. If you want to receive more videos like this one, also about the present or future of our relationship with food, consider subscribing to the channel. Of course, I'm interested to know what you think about this question. Is there a link between cooking and eating more meat for early humans? Please leave your remarks and questions in the comments. I do my best to answer them. Bye for now. Hopefully to the next video when the question is cannibalism the dark secret of our food history?